There's over 130 playbooks in college football 25, so it can be hard to figure out which ones are the best, and it takes a very long time to go through them all. Well, I've got you covered. I'm going to let you know about all of the best playbooks in the game, which ones you need to check out and take into practice mode. Now, before we get into the top playbooks, I want to mention just a few unique playbooks that are worth checking out. These are interesting playbooks that have very specific things in them that you won't find in other playbooks, and if you take the time to learn these playbooks, you can be pretty dangerous in this game. So first, we got to start with the armed services like Army, Navy, and Air Force. They're going to be the playbooks that have these flex bones, and these can be really annoying to go against if you really take your time to learn them. They have all the triple options, the speed options, the rocket tosses, the counters, the fullback dives, and they have pretty good passing plays in them as well. So if you want to take the time to learn these in any of those playbooks, this is probably one of the more fun things you can run in the game, and you can be pretty dangerous if you get it down. But you also got some other things at your disposal. You've got pistol sets in these playbooks if you want to get from under center a little bit, and you're going to even have a decent amount of shotgun. This is not a bad group of shotgun plays when you really factor in that the money of this playbook is the flex bone, but you still have the ability to go to shotgun. You've got some good plays, some good auto motion, some gimmicky stuff, some options in here as well, so you don't have to just stay under center the whole time, and that's why these playbooks are worth checking out. Another interesting playbook worth checking out is Kennesaw State, because they have pretty much every pistol formation you can want. If you're a pistol type of guy, you want to use Kennesaw State. Look at all these pistol formations that they have, and they've got some good plays in here. They got a lot of good runs, a lot of good options, and some pretty good pass plays as well. So this is definitely one of those ones you can have a lot of fun with if you want to check it out. But they also still have a little bit of shotgun as well, not a ton, but if you want to get in the shotgun, they do have some options here. But this is really a playbook you're going to go to for pistol, but having trips tight and offset here in shotgun is definitely something that's valuable if for whatever reason your pistol offense just isn't clicking. Now, the next group of playbooks we have to talk about are the ones that specialize in the wide splits, meaning the formations that have the receivers lined up extra wide, really close to the sideline. Now, they're not really my cup of tea, but a lot of people like these playbooks, like Oklahoma and Tennessee, for example. They're going to have a lot of these wide splits here. Look at all the formations that have the word wide in them. This is going to really allow you to get to the outside and do some crazy stuff. Look at all of these wide sets, wide bunch, wide trips, wide stack, wide offset. You're going to have a lot of different things here, but Oklahoma is a pretty good playbook in its own right because it does have some other stuff mixed in with this. You've got trips tight end and stuff like that. So Oklahoma is definitely a pretty popular playbook. So is Tennessee. They're very similar. Other playbooks that specialize in these wide splits are the veer and shoot and also the FIU playbook. So those are other ones you can check out. They're going to have a lot of similar stuff in them. And this is something that, yeah, if you get it down, you can be pretty dangerous to go against. It can be annoying. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's definitely worth checking out. Now, hey, really quickly, if you've made it to this point of the video and you still aren't subbed yet, you might as well go ahead and subscribe because you're basically already a part of the family anyway. And that way you can stay up to date with all the best college football 25 tips all year long. Now let's start talking about some of the heavy hitters. So Oregon is a playbook that I really love because it has a lot of really good formations, especially in shotgun. They've got a lot of auto motion stuff in different formations, especially for the running back, different swing screens, different routes to get him moving over the middle of the field, and it makes these routes really hard to defend when they get that running start. But it also has good formations like trips tight end, which is always a really hard one to stop. They've also got a trio Y flex with some of those auto motions as well. They got the bunch strong offset with auto motions. Bunch is always good on its own. You add auto motions to it, now it's a whole nother problem. You've got bunch open offset, you've got bunch quads, which is something I really like. You've got the double stack, you've got the spread, you've got more trips, more auto motion, and I mean, this is just shotgun. You've also got a pistol set in here as well. You've got an I-form set if you want to get under center and try to pound the rock in short situations. And you even have Wildcat, which is actually pretty good in this year's game if you want to mix it in. And they have two Wildcat sets, not just one. And they even have the reverse pass, which can be pretty glitchy. And they've got the reverse plays as well. Next up, we have the Michigan playbook. And this is probably the most balanced playbook in the game. It has a ton of really good formations, but it has good shotgun and good under center. And it's got a variety of formations. You've also got a good amount of auto motion. You've got your options. You've got all your screen stuff. You've got a lot of RPOs as well, which is really good. You've got the bunch strong offset with auto motion. Bunch is always going to be a very strong formation. And you've also got bunch X nasty. To have both of these in the same playbook is pretty good. You've got spread with motion. You've also got a tray offset, which is good. So anytime you have a trip set and a bunch set in the same playbook, that's going to be good. And you've also got spread 5 wide as well. But like I said, this playbook is balanced. You've got a little bit of pistol in here. You go to single back, and you've got a few different single back formations, which is good. So if you want to get under center, you've got quite a few options in this playbook, whereas a lot of the playbooks in this game are very much shotgun heavy. You've also got multiple I-form formations, including I-form close, which you're not going to find this in a bunch of playbooks. So it's really good that Michigan has a great shotgun, but also all this stuff under center. They even have the strong eye as well. So you've got a lot of different options available to you in this playbook. I do want to mention really quickly that I do have a membership page where I post extra tips and schemes. I do it for Madden every year, and now I'm doing it for college football as well. So if you want to kind of take your game to the next level and get some more advanced tips, you can check that out in the pinned comment below. Next up, we've got a bit of a sleeper playbook in my opinion, Oklahoma State. Don't see a lot of people talking about this one, but this is another one with a lot of unique plays, really good formations, a lot of auto motions, a lot of screens, a lot of jet sweeps. I mean, you can see some of these crazy plays right here in the doubles flex. You've got some other stuff here in the slot flex. You've got a lot of RPOs. You've got a trips tight end, which is really, really good. Anytime you get a trips tight end, especially one that's got some auto motion, you're really cooking. And you've got bunch halfback strong as well. So having these two formations, along with all the other unique stuff this playbook has, makes it pretty good. But we're just getting started. We've got some spread stuff, some unique routes here. We've got more trips. We've got a few different 5 wide formations with some good plays. But you've also got some balance here. When you go into pistol, look at all of the different pistol stuff you have. You even have full house. You've got pistol deuce. You've got Y offs. You got trips. You've got open flex. And then you go under center. You've got a little bit of single back as well. This is a pretty unique, single back set here. Kind of something you can get a little gimmicky with. And you've also got some I-form as well. So another playbook that's got a decent amount of balance, but also pretty unique and something that I think is a bit of a sleeper. Up next, we've got the Ohio State playbook. This one is jammed packed with a lot of stuff, a lot of RPOs, a lot of options, a lot of stuff like that. I mean, really a lot of the playbooks in this game, you got some good QB runs here as well, which is good, but a lot of the playbooks in these games are going to have their fair share of options. Some do have more than others. Some are going to have more RPOs than others, but the ones that have a lot of that also mixed in with just great formations like that trio halfback weak. You've got unique stuff like tackle over trips. You've got some cool spread stuff. I mean, a lot of spread stuff here. But what I really like about this playbook is the box sets, because these are not in many playbooks. And this is a set that you can really do some damage with, and you've got some unique routes, some unique auto motion. You've got 2 different versions of it which you can mix together and really get creative with. You've got the trio Y flex. It's got some good plays. You've also got a 5 wide. You've got some motion and some jet sweeps. You go over to pistol. You do have a pistol spread, which is a pretty unique one. You still have some single back here, a couple single back sets if you want to mix that in. And you've got the split T, which is not in many playbooks. And this is a really good ground and pound type of formation. If you just need a few yards, if you're on the goal line, you can have a lot of success with this. The next playbook we have to talk about is the multiple playbook. This is not a team playbook. This is one of the generic playbooks, but it's one of the best ones in the game, and it has a ton of balance. So first off, you've got a few good single back sets. You've got deuce close, which is always a really good one. You've got wing flex, which is pretty good, and you've got tight Y off. You've also got some more under center with I-form. You've got 3 different I-form formations here, kind of your basic ones. So again, if you need to get under center, you can do that with this playbook. You've also got a few pistol sets as well. So it's just balance across the board. A few single back, a few I-form, a few pistol, but shotgun is where it's going to have, some really good stuff. But you can see you've got the jet touch passes. You've got a lot of the motion stuff, which I've talked about throughout the video because they are, really, really popular for a reason. They're really good. But now we get the shotgun, and shotgun is pretty good in this playbook. You've got a lot of standard stuff. Then you get to the Y off trips week, and you're seeing more auto motion. You're seeing a lot of plays with big routes. You've got the reverse flea flicker in this playbook, which is also in Auburn, and it's in Arizona. Very, very dangerous play. You got the reverse pass. You've got read options. You've got Y off trio, more auto motion. But what's really good with this playbook, you've got trips tight end, which most playbooks have some form of a trips tight end or a trips, but this is going to be one of the best formations in the game this year, and this is one of the better trips tight ends in all of the game. You've got good runs in it. You've got bubble screens. You've got regular screens. You've got your big plays. This playbook also has bunch. Not a lot of playbooks have a standard bunch. I think the only other one that has the plain standard bunch is Georgia's playbook. This, I would say, is kind of the Madden playbook of the entire game, where if you're really familiar with that style of offense, you can do that out of this playbook for college football 25. Up next, we've got one of the more unique playbooks in the game, and that's UNLV. Now, first off, we got to start. I'm going to split backs because you don't see this in a lot of playbooks, and these are some really tricky formations. This is kind of a throwback. We don't really see this in Madden lately, but old Madden games and NCAA games had these, and these formations are really good for running, and they've got good passes. I particularly like the flex close split back. I think the runs out of this are really good. They've got good passes as well, and with all the hot routes you can can do in this game with your QB, you can make any formation really viable. Now, you've also got a good amount of pistol. You've even got pistol bunch. That's not one you see in a lot of playbooks. You've got pistol strong, which is good. You've got a lot of options and auto motions in this book as well. Of course, you go to shotgun. It's one of the better shotguns in the game. You've got duo over. You've got all these duo sets, which I'm going to just come out on the field real quick so you can kind of see this, because you have to see this on field to kind of, it's hard to see it from the play call screen. Look at the 2 running backs in the backfield. This is crazy. This is something we've never seen. I don't think this was in old NCAA games. Correct me if I'm wrong. It definitely isn't in Madden. And they've got a whole bunch of duos. So some of them line up a little differently, as you can see. But there's a lot of unique plays with this stuff. So it's something that I think you should definitely check out. So yeah, you can see we got 4 different duo sets. You've got options. You've got bubble screens. You've got good pass plays. A lot of stuff. Then you've got your split. You've got more split here. A lot of split back stuff in this playbook in general, which is something that's unique about it. You've got doubles. You've got some good Y-off trip stuff as well. Again, you see a lot of auto motions, a lot of wide trips. Then you get to cluster. This is a really, really good formation. It's kind of like a gun bunch. It's a little bit of a different version of it. You don't see this in a lot of playbooks, and a lot of people are liking the cluster offense in this game. You've also got tight doubles, another formation you don't see in a lot of playbooks. This could be my favorite playbook. I'm not going to say it is quite yet, but this is definitely one of the more unique and fun playbooks to use. You've got bunch open. You've got trips X nasty. This is definitely one worth checking out to see if you like. Now, this video is really in no particular order, but these last 2 playbooks I'm going to go over right now are my current favorites, starting with Alabama. A very, very, very dangerous playbook here. Got some unique sets, a lot of auto motions, and you're kind of getting a similar feel with a lot of the playbooks I'm going over here. They have a lot of similarities in terms of they have a lot to offer. They have a little bit of everything in them. They've got great formations. They've got a lot of good routes. They've got a lot of auto motion RPOs, and they've got screens and gimmicky stuff as well, right? Every playbook's going to have a little bit of that, like I said earlier, but there's some playbooks that just have a lot more of it. And this playbook has bunch tight end, which is not in a lot of playbooks. And this is one of those formations that's always really tough to defend, really good. So if you're a bunch tight end type of guy, this is probably going to be the playbook for you. You've got the bunch quads offset, which I feel like is a bit of a sleeper formation. You've got some unique stuff with the F twins over if you want to get a little gimmicky. You've got some other formations right here. You've got a lot of spread stuff. You've got the bunch open offset, which is pretty good. You've got some trips, and you've got a bunch of different empty sets. When you have this much empty, in the college game, you can really get dangerous. And then, of course, you still have a little bit of balance here. You've got a little bit of pistol, and this is a unique pistol set. You don't see this one a whole lot in the game. You've also got a little bit of single back tight flex as well if you want to get under center. So this is a pretty decent under center formation, at least for the run. But my absolute favorite as of right now, and this could change later, but right now it's definitely Arizona, and I think quite a few people feel the same way. You've got a good tight Y off with some jet sweeps here. You don't see this in a ton of playbooks. You got good double sets with some auto motions and some unique routes here. A lot of gimmicky stuff. You've got, some jet pass powers. You've got touch passes. You've got a lot of stuff that can play off of each other, but you've also got, a lot of good run plays in this, and you've also got some gimmicky stuff like the reverse flea flicker. I know this is also in Auburn's playbook. This is a very, very glitchy flea flicker. It does work pretty well. You've got reverse passes. You've got read options. You've got a lot of good formations in terms of Y-off trips, and again, trips tight end. When you see this in a playbook, that's going to be good, but you've got some other unique stuff here with a bunch of these wide sets. Now, the whole playbook isn't wide like some of the other unique playbooks that we talked about at the beginning of the video, but you have a little sprinkle of that in here, so you can get a little bit of that in this playbook without having the whole playbook have to be that way. So you get a little taste of it, but you also get trips tight end. You get some other stuff that's a little more practical. You've got some empty sets as well. Also, what I love about this playbook is you've got stuff like the halfback direct snap and the halfback DIY reverse. You don't see these plays in a ton of playbooks as well, so you can get kind of gimmicky with this. You've also got some decent single back here with deuce close, a really good deuce close. You've got the weak flex close as well and wing slot, so pretty good single back. And you have wildcat, like I mentioned earlier in the video. Wildcat's actually not bad in this game, especially if you're just mixing it in from time to time. You've got blast runs, you've got the jet pass, you've got jet sweeps. This is actually a really good gimmicky formation that you would like to have, and the Arizona playbook has it along with everything else. Now that you know the best playbooks in the game, you're halfway there. Now you need to learn about the overall best tips for college football 25, and you can check that video out right here on the screen.